So what's going on, guys? It's Mighty Dark 13 back again for the first time in about 5 months. So this video is one of the more sort of sadder notes. So for anyone who doesn't know, as of Saturday, which day today, 17th. So over the previous weekend, it was announced that Murray Walker had died at the age of 97. Now, for anyone who knows me, knows that I'm an avid Formula One fan, and to be honest, I've been looking to bring Formula One back to the channel for a while. Originally, this wasn't how I was planning it, to be fair, but I mean, the word legend is thrown around a lot, but Murray was one of the true legends of motorsport, and he had stopped commentating by the time I got into watching it. Like, I started watching Formula One in 2007 when Lewis Hamilton won. 2007, where Raikkonen won his championship. And I never really heard him commentate until I started looking into older races. So, like the race at Jerez in 1997, the likes of the San Marino Grand Prix where Senna lost his life, races like that, and you heard when he spoke, he had such a passion for motorsport, or for whatever sport he was doing. I mean, there was obviously he made mistakes while he was commentating. He never said they were mistakes; they were prophecies that were immediately proven wrong, which is just part of his character. He was fantastic. He was never arrogant. I mean, I listened to a podcast he did with Tom Clarkson, Beyond the Grid, and he sort of said, like, it wasn't a job, it was a hobby for him. He just loved talking about Formula One. And sort of, as someone who loves commentary, I mean, he is an inspiration to me. Like, when I'm sometimes if I'm bored, I sit there and I do, like, as everyone does, you do bits of commentary and whatever. In terms of football, obviously you get your Martin Tylers, your Jeff Shreves and all that lot. But for me, my commentary comes from, or my inspiration, comes from Murray Walker, just because of how, he's got, in his own words, he had adrenaline pumping out of him by the bucketful. Like, he spoke with such a passion. And I mean, even when I was asked to do commentary work in college, I did a bit where I worked on, I had to do some commentary for someone's work, and they kept it sort of chill, and then I sort of up the levels, and it was quite a Murray Walker-esque thing, which was amazing. And I think, even how he dealt with tragedies within motorsport and whatever have rubbed off on me. I remember when I was doing my radio show in college, we had to talk about Emiliano Sala dying, and I headed the show. I think it was Emiliano Sala. I can't remember. We had to talk about someone dying anyway, and I took the opening that night. We opened with no song, and we sort of said with like the hardest, like, it is with heavy hearts that we do this show. And I was sort of complimented, like, obviously we had the couple of students who were like the heads of the radio like stations or whatever, and they said, like, the way you handled it was fantastic. But I mean, even down to how he sort of covered up when drivers did something they weren't supposed to. I mean, I can't remember the names, but there's a famous touring car thing where one of the other drivers has given the finger to one of the other drivers, and Murray's just gone, and I'm going for first. And it's sort of, it's amazing how, I mean, so much now. I mean, even when I've watched F1 with other people, I've sort of said, these commentators ain't bad, but they're nothing on Murray. And it feels almost as if, like, I mean, Formula One has lost a lot of legends. I mean, Sterling Moss, Niki Lauda, in the last few years, like, have all gone. And I feel even though Murray wasn't a driver in Formula One, he was still respected by everyone. I mean, Senna respected him massively. Obviously, he worked with James Hunt when he first started out. And he said about when working with Hunt, he drove him mental, but they had a good thing. And when he died in, I believe it was 93, he was gutted. He was heartbroken because they worked together. And, you know, just with that whole dynamic between them. But I think, I mean, honestly, Murray Walker is an inspiration to anyone who wants to get into motorsport commentary. And that is a dream of mine. I'd love to. And I am looking to branch out and see what I can do commentary-wise. But if you look at, look at the likes of Martin Brundle, obviously James Hunt, and these guys were brought in to assist Murray. And towards the end, with Martin Brundle, I'm quoting a video, but it sounded like someone who was like working with their dad almost. Like, I mean, he sat there and, Murray would go, "Oh, it's Berger's out," and it would be Berger's teammate, and Martin would go, "No, Murray, it's this one," and then bang, off Murray goes again, sounding like a toddler who's had far too much sugar. But it was that enthusiasm that sort of, you sat there and were like, "This is mad." Like, you listen to him commentate, and he's bouncing off the balls of his feet, going absolutely berserk. And I think one of the most poignant moments for any fan is when Damon Hill won the championship, and he said, "I've got to stop because I've got a lump in my throat." And obviously the backstory to that is he was very friendly with the Hill family, and after Graham Hill, Damon Hill's dad, died, Murray was very close to the family. So it's understandable that he got like emotional when someone who he's very close to won the title. But even that was was spoken in a very, very strong level of respect for everyone else. But I think overall, I mean, my favourite, it's unforgettable. Murray's start to a race, he'd count the lights out. So 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's go, go, go. And that is just iconic. Like, even saying that was not an impression of Murray, I could never do it, but listening to that has made the hairs in the back of my neck stand up. But yeah, this video is going to be called Murray Walker Remembering the Legend or something. But he is, and in my opinion, will be held as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, commentator of all time. And I feel that sport in general is a lot darker without him. He was such a presence. I mean, even now he'd walk around, and I was watching something last night, I can't remember what it was, but there was something on the telly last night about Murray Walker, and he grabbed hold of Jenson Button to say hello, and someone was trying to interview Button, and he went, "It's Murray Walker, I'm busy." And it's just, he has such a rapport with every driver. In the older days, I doubt he has a bigger rapport now, obviously, because he's not as involved. But the older generation, like your Jenson Button, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, Kimi Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel, and Vettel, it wasn't even. Well, I don't think Murray was commentating the 2008 season. But he just had this voice. And I mean, when he retired, it was sort of, he was driven around. He was given a goodbye present by Michael Schumacher, who had immense respect for him. And I think you listen to one of and I'll link the podcast in the description, along with the Murray Walker video that's been posted on the official Formula One channel. But I think you just sort of listen to that and you just think, wow, what a man he was. He was absolutely incredible. And as I said, he is a legend of motorsport, and it's a hell of a lot darker now that he's no longer alive. So I just I wish his family all the best. I hope that they are okay in this tough time. And I guess overall, rest in peace, Murray. He's probably up there in the big commentary box in the sky, commentating with James Hunt. But yeah, it's absolutely incredible. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave this video here. Thank you for watching. And yeah, R.I.P. Murray, true legend of motorsport. So.